Hi guys, today I will be going over how to create a automatically updating DWM bar. So in DWM, it's pretty handy to have a kind of a status bar up above, and you can kind of customize it however you want. And personally, I've chosen to have the date here, the time here, the IP address of the machine, the battery charge, and the current user I'm logged in. And all of that can be customized so you can have whatever you want. You can add more information, less information. It's really up to however you want to do it. So the way you would start going about making a DWM bar in there's a certain command that you can call in order to update this bar with characters. So I have created just one directory here to house all my scripts for the status bar, and you can see I have a whole bunch of bash scripts. So I'm going to go to each one of these is for one component of my status bar. So this battery script is to grab information for the battery percentage and place an icon there and tell me if I'm charging. So I can try charging right now. You can see that I'll have a nice little icon that'll tell me that I'm currently charging, like so. Nice little icon, and you see how it dynamically updated. So it just pushed it apart, made room for the icon, and I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to call any commands there. It's because the script that's running in the back is doing it for me. So this DWMBAT script, all it does is grab information about the battery from the command called ACPI, and then it greps the specific part of the information that you want, and then it does a couple of comparisons, and then it formats an output specifically like this, which is suitable for the overall script. So all these are for the components, and this calls all the component scripts in order to compile them all, combine them all, and then put them together. So now this date script is for this date component right here. I have a separate time script for the current time, but if we took a look at the date script, it calls the date command, and it also has a little date icon, and it formats it, and it sends it to the output. And then if we take a look at the time component, it also uses the date, but it just extracts different information. And I decided to separate them just for separation. And I also have something that shows the current IP address as well. So if you take a look at the net, the script for the IP address, it uses the IP command. It takes the IP status and whether it's connected via Ethernet or Wi-Fi, and it shows the proper icon depending on that too. So if it was connected by Ethernet, it would show a little Ethernet icon instead, and that's just an icon that I've chosen. And then lastly, for the user script, it just checks which user is entered, but with the whoami script or the whoami command, and then it adds a little user icon just to make it look a bit more official, and then it pipes it all out to the output. And then when you look at the overall script, you can see that it's just a forever loop that calls this xSetRoot. Now this xSetRoot sets whatever the hell xSetRoot-name sets whatever you type here into here as just the text that shows up here. So I'll show it to you. xSetRoot-name hello world. Yeah, there. And it does that for a second, but it's because the script's running every second, it resets it. So you can do it again. See, it lasts for about a second, like that. So as long as all this script is doing is calling xSetRoot-name over and over with while also querying for all the information and combining them all into the text and then formatting it, like so. And then it sleeps for 1 second, but I think this is a little some information probably doesn't have to be queried that often. What I've seen other people do they'll actually have a file system. So they'll actually have the script pipe the output of DWM-BAT, DWM-DATE, or whatever into a file, and then instead of having to call these scripts over and over, they will just read from the file, which is probably a really much more efficient way to do it. Say, like, I mean, my IP address probably isn't changing very often. Maybe it needs to run like once in a while. Neither is the date. The date probably isn't changing very often either. It's once a day, so you could have that run like maybe once an hour, and then it will just output the date to a file, and then you read from the file, and that would be more efficient. But I'm not too concerned with that. It's not too heavy of a script. It's just looking for some information every once a second, so that's not a big deal. If I was more concerned with the resources, I would instead pipe it into the output into a file, and then have the DWM bar script read from the file. That would be much more efficient. But this works good enough for me. Now you have all these scripts, but how do you actually have them running? So the way you on X, you have to look for the xinit script if you're using, I believe, I'm not sure what it was called. It was like X11, X something. If you're using that the display, you can look for the xinit RC. That's what I have. And I just call this script with the ampersand at the end that says to run it in the background. And you have to make sure to put this behind exec DWM if you are using DWM. So make sure it's behind the exec DWM because it's blocking, and I didn't realize that. I had it afterwards and it didn't run. So I had to test it over and over, and I found out that I have to put it behind. So make sure that's behind, and then it'll run every single time you start DWM. It'll update the bar up here for you. So yeah, that's my simple overview of my DWM bar scripts. I'm just in case I didn't go over all of them, I'll look through them again. So here's my general overall script that takes the output of everything, formats them with little lines in between and spaces, and the icons. Though I think you have to, if you want icons in there, you might have to install some kind of package or support for the icons. But they're completely optional. They're just for me to make it look a little prettier. And this one was my this is the battery script to check the power, like so. Here's my script to get the date. Here is the script to check the disk, although I don't actually use this. I thought it would be a good idea to check the usage of the disk, but I feel like it was taking too much room. I like the font a little bigger, so it's easier to read at just a glance. But I am running a little bit out of room here. But I like the font at this size, and I like how much the bar takes up. So even though there's an option that you could make a script to read the disk usage and put it out here, I don't think that's important enough. I can check it with lsblk-f, and then it'll tell me. So that's good enough. I don't actually use that one. And then here's the script for my IP address and checking the connection. Here's a script for the time. Here's a script to look at what user is logged in. Although when you log in initially, if you switch user to another user, like if I switch to root, it won't actually update this. So it's not actually that helpful. But if you switch the user, it won't update it, and I haven't figured a way to instead when I use switch user root. Yeah, see, this doesn't change. But I'm still logged in as root. So I guess that means the script is running under permissions from the person who first logged in instead of whatever the window currently is. But I mean, this is good enough for me. I guess it just looks cool for me. I guess that's not very required. So yeah, that's it for my DWM scripts. Thank you.